Anna stood at the kitchen sink, her eyes on the clock. 11:47 p.m. David was late again. He had texted her an hour ago. "Don't wait up, late meeting again." It wasn't the first time. For weeks now, David had been coming home later and later. His excuses were always the same: work meetings, deadlines, office emergencies. At first, Anna believed him. But small things started to bother her. The way he guarded his phone, the sighs when he thought she wasn't looking, the faint perfume on his shirt, sweet and floral, not hers. Tonight, the doubt was unbearable. She grabbed her coat and keys. If he was at the office, she would surprise him with coffee. If he wasn't, she didn't want to think about it. The office building was dark when she arrived. The parking lot was empty, no sign of David's car. Anna's chest tightened. She double-checked the text. Late meeting. She sat in her car, the unease twisting inside her. She could go home, pretend she hadn't come, and push her doubts away. Or she could look for the truth. Her fingers moved before she could stop them, typing into her phone, "Riverside Suites." It was a hotel across town. She didn't know why the name came to her, but it felt like her mind had connected dots she didn't even know were there. The drive to the hotel felt endless. When she pulled into the parking lot, her heart sank. David's car was parked near the entrance. Anna sat frozen, staring at it. Her hands trembled as she stepped out of her car. Inside, the hotel lobby was warm and quiet. The receptionist barely looked at her as she walked past. She felt like she didn't exist. The elevator ride to the 5th floor was silent, except for her own shallow breathing. Room 512. Her footsteps slowed as she reached the door. She could hear faint laughter inside David's laugh. Her heart pounded so loudly she thought she might faint. But she couldn't turn back. She raised her hand and knocked. The laughter stopped. Footsteps came closer, and the door opened. David stood there, his shirt half unbuttoned. His face turned pale when he saw her. Behind him, a woman stood by the bed, holding a sheet around herself. Her hair was messy, her makeup smeared. "Anna," David stammered. His voice was barely a whisper. Anna's chest tightened, but she stayed calm. "Work meeting, huh?" Her voice was quiet, trembling with anger and pain. David stepped forward, his hands raised as if to explain. "Anna, don't," she snapped, stepping back. "Don't even try." Her eyes burned, but she refused to cry. "You lied to me," she whispered. "For this?" David didn't answer. He didn't need to. Hours later, Anna sat in their living room, staring at a photo of their wedding. She heard the door open and looked up to see David. His face was full of guilt, but she cut him off before he could speak. "I need space," she said firmly, grabbing her keys. "Don't follow me." She walked out into the night. Her heart was broken, but deep down she knew one thing. She would find a way to move forward, alone.